After turning all of this into a pile 1 Olivia high, I decided to make use of all of the old wisteria vines that were lying around. It's very invasive, spreads quickly, so I collected a few of them out of the pile, although definitely not all of them, and started by winding them kind of into circles and soaking them in warm water for about 30 minutes. "30 minutes later, they still look a lot like, well, wet vines." I removed the brick that was just there to weight everything down and started taking out all of the different vines, throwing them onto a blanket on the floor since I decided to do this the same day I cleaned all of my floors. Bad idea. Now, the reason I used wisteria here is because I didn't want it to start growing in my compost, and I definitely didn't want it to start growing in my garden if I chopped it up, and just anywhere. I put down a towel for myself to sit on because the blanket had gotten all wet by now, and I used a small knife as well as some garden clippers to trim off any irregular parts, whether they be little flaky bits at the end, stems, leaves, whatever I wasn't interested in using. It makes a lot of sense to do this prior to putting them in your sink. They just take up less space, they're not as wet, but since mine were sitting outside in the rain, they were super muddy and I didn't want to deal with them until they had been rinsed off. Here I'm grabbing 6 vines that are similar in length, but I actually ended up just trimming them so they were similar. You really just want to look for ones that are consistently the same thickness. The magic happening off screen here is that I'm laying them so that way their midsections all touch in the middle and they reach out like a spiral, which you can see now. Then I just started grabbing a different vine and weaving it around those, making sure to go over and under, and eventually finding this one vine that reached around like a circle and weaving it through the ones I already had to make a handle. The basket needed a little of something, so I made sure to tuck in one end of a vine as I wrapped it around the top couple vines that were all clustered together, just to make it look like it had a clean edge. I took another vine and wound it around with the handle attached to my basket just to make sure that it wasn't going to be going anywhere. I kind of took it on an angle myself. You could really go wherever you want. So that way I made sure that both sides of the handle were covered. I trimmed the few remaining vines that were sticking up and decided my basket was done. Of course, I had to put eggs in it, even if they were from the fridge. Let me know if there's a different basket style I could try. I have many vines left. Please subscribe.